This week in SkullFace Records. Now, here's your host, President and CEO of SkullFace Records, NICHIMES.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Please, everyone, sit down. Ladies in the back, please put the shirts back on. Maybe later on you can take them back off, but right now, come on. And now for everyone around the world listening to SkullFace Records Radio.
Oh yeah, it's time.
It's time for the show.
We are live in the studio. It's late night. It's been a long Sunday.
It has.
In SkullFace Records land. We have had a huge week. We're going to discuss that a little bit. We're going to be doing the top 10 for the past 7 days. This is week 7 of this. It's going to be an interesting countdown. The studio, like 60 to 70 hours, I guess, in the last few days.
Yeah.
We'll start with Friday. Friday, we live in the studio. What up, Dan Bowen? What's going on, dude? We were just about, we're actually getting to you because you come in somewhere around Saturday. We're starting out with Friday. Friday, we hosted taping 2 of Sin City Live.
Dan Bowen was on the first one.
Dan Bowen was on number 1, but we hosted the taping of number 2 this past Friday, which we had Zachary Savine in.
Yep.
Which he hammered what he was playing, dude. He played some really emotional and really cool, heartfelt songs.
Yeah.
He was an awesome dude. It was a pleasure having him in. They were followed up by a terrible performance by AOA.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man, we totally dropped the ball on that. But in our defense, we are 5 weeks unrehearsed.
Yeah, man, and the thing is, it's going to give us, you have to do that.
Yeah.
If you don't have the bad moments, you don't even know what the good moments are.
Right.
We're going to get together, man, hopefully this weekend and the next few weeks. We're going to start recording no matter what in November.
Yeah.
Ashes of Atlanta will get it together and get an EP going in November.
Yep.
But then, ladies and gentlemen, the amp was here. He sang through an amp. He brought his own little setup. We recorded a video which was released on YouTube this morning, early in the morning. INONOMIX.
Yes.
That video for the very first release of a single artist on Sin City Live is incredible.
It is.
What up, DAVIDWRIGHT?
What's happening,
man?
Dave?
We got a lot of the SkullFace family watching in and stuff, man. We appreciate you guys. Spread the word. Like and share if you care. So Friday we shot those. We wrapped it up. We got back up Saturday morning. We cleaned. We had this place look, and the whole time we keep this place looking spectacular.
Oh, yes.
Me or Slim is either always busting ass around here because we want people to get the best experience they get when they come into the studio.
Exactly.
But Saturday, it was canceled 1 week.
Yeah.
But, dude, it was worth the wait.
Right.
We recorded music with Dan Bowen for about 6-7 hours.
7 hours, yeah.
We drank Red Bulls. We drank Cokes. We drank Mountain Dews. We smoked cigarettes. We talked life. We talked music. We talked about, I feel like we all became closer friends under this roof. There were so many musicians in here witnessing what was going on. It was pretty special.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat.
It definitely was.
How did you feel? You know what I'm saying? Because, this guy is, from up in your area, Slim. I know how much you love the style that he's got.
Yes.
What does it make you feel, and how does it make you feel that you got to push the buttons for his first 2 legit recordings, which, Dan, if you're listening, we just listened to the second one we did that Skeen don't know about yet. And, dude, it's bad fucking ass, man. We got Buscavitas. We got Buscavitas.
Hey, Buscavitas, bring us some pop.
He said soda. It was awesome having him in. He was in last night, dude. It was a fun evening.
Yep.
So we recorded 2 songs. We're going to be making videos for that and some backup music to them and stuff. It's going to be fun. And then we woke up early today. Mm-hmm. We started doing some radio. We did episode 2 of 2 shows.
Yes.
We did episode 2 of Joe for President. Which you can find on YouTube now, which episode 1, which is awesome, dude. Joe is an encyclopedia of awesome fucking shit.
He is.
And he will make you think. You'll learn something when you listen to Joe talk every once in a while. We had Juicy Jimmy in here for that.
Yep.
And then me and Juicy Jimmy decided to start our own thing. I had the idea for my wrestling show from Parts Unknown. I talked to him about it. I think he's going to try to do a sports show as well, but I talked to him about it because he's a really influential star on the indie scene around. You know what I mean? He's been around. He understands the shit.
Yeah.
He knows it. He's lived it.
Right.
So
He's living it currently.
So what an insight.
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about him doing the show with you is that you got Nick NICHIMES, who's president and CEO of SkullFace Records and SkullFace Records Radio, and then you've got Juicy Jimmy, who is a current independent wrestler.
Man, he's awesome too.
And you guys are talking wrestling. It's good stuff.
It's fun, man. Dan, dude, we enjoyed you. We can't wait till the next time, man. I can't wait to send you this so you can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we get them ready, man, we'll send you those files ASAP and these videos from your performance from Sin City, which I cannot wait to see.
Yeah.
Once I seen the one last night for INONOMIX, I am now addicted and I want to see more.
Yeah, exactly.
We are here tonight. We're doing This Week in SkullFace Top 10 edition. This is week 7. The countdown changes up, man. Out with some, in with some. There's always got to be people that leave. Last week we were disappointed that you know what, and it was capped by our awful performance. We were kicked out of the top 10, and we were like, "Fuck you, we'll show you, awful." We just won't play for you good since you didn't vote us into the top 10. Ashes of Atlanta got out of there last week. They did not return yet.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm thinking we get another song tight. We start doing some recordings. We make us a little video, man, and we make ourselves relevant again. AOA needs to be put back on the map.
I agree.
What do you think about that, Slim?
I agree 100%.
But we have a countdown. The very first one, you know what I'm saying, is kind of a weird thing. This has never happened in the 6 weeks. This is the 7th week, so in the past 6 weeks, this has never happened on the countdown.
Okay.
Number 1 went to number 10.
What?
That's not awful. It's on the countdown.
Yeah.
There is 110, 20 songs that, you know what?
Yeah.
They ain't on this countdown.
Wow.
They're released and they're on the label, they're on it, but they're not in the top 10. So being in the top 10 by itself is a privilege. That's what I think.
Right, yeah.
Number 10. Let's get this rocking, dude. And we're going to have, when you're listening to it live, the beginning of this song is so badass. I'm hoping that we use it for, I'm going to plug us real quick. Selfless plug. Para Not Normal. RONNIEKENNER and NICHIMES talking about all the weirdest shit in this fucking world. And the beginning of it should be this song right here, dude. This is INONOMIX. The song's called Worm. You're listening to SkullFace Records Radio, This Week in SkullFace Top 10.
Number 10.
know, last week it was number 1. This week it was number 10. Either way, it's still a cool ass song to me, Slim.
It is.
You know, INONOMIX is making a huge ass name. It just released 3 videos on our YouTube in the AM this morning.
It did.
That's unbelievable.
Yep.
2 of them I'm in.
Yeah.
All 3 of them I'm kind of in. Like, I introduced the very first one. Me and Ronnie are becoming pretty good buddies around here, dude.
Yep.
I heard for a long time, you know, that we knew we had things in common. You know, it just takes time to get to know someone.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes the more you get to know someone, the less you like them because they hide all the bad shit.
Right.
But me and him are different. We hide all of our cool shit.
Right.
Like, you got to put up with the bullshit first to get all the good shit inside. It's kind of funny. We're going to number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9 has been on the top 10 countdown more than any other song.
Wow.
It's not been on every countdown, but as of this week, it's been on 6 out of 7 of every top 10.
Damn.
It's dropped down from 3 of last week down to 9, so it has dropped 6 places. Hopefully it's not dropping out and being out of here for a while.
Well,
But this
see.
song is, man, it's me. It's Nick. The song's called Well Then.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. SkullFace Records Radio.
Number 9.
It was more than just an accident. Starting from the first time we met. Much more than a crazy risk. And who cares if it all goes to shit now, baby? But I won't be the blame for that. I did all I could to attach myself. But if this is all we have, well then, fuck it. Woke up to the sad sounds of you telling me you've broken all the rules in our lives. Guess we'll do what we do. But I thought there was a promise we were always using, baby. I won't be the blame for that. I did all I could to attach myself. But if this is all we have, well then, fuck it.
For that, man, I'm starting to hear the Ashes of Atlanta version. That's one of the weird songs that I actually have, and when I was showed my buddy Skeen about it, he was like,
"Man, those lyrics are pussy."
I was like, well, okay, Skeener. I'll come up with something a little bit more badass. And I came up with the well then fuck it lyrics that I had, and it's been pretty successful, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's been in the countdown, like I said, more than any other ones, man. It's been a pretty cool hit, man. I'm hoping to have that on my third self-titled Nick album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for, man. But, you know, who knows? We got a lot to do in 2020. I might not get around to it till about 2021. You guys are listening to This Week in Skullface. You are listening to the Top 10 edition for September 27th. This is the 7th week we've been doing this. We like to talk about things that are going on in the week and what we've been doing and everything. What do you think? You know, week to week, we continue growing, Slim. Mm-hmm. What do you think about all that? You know, we've been in this game now, sitting side by side for a good solid 10 weeks.
We have.
How do you feel about everything, man?
Man.
Vent yourself. Let yourself be heard.
I'm loving it, dude. We're further along than any other radio station that started from the bottom. Now we hear could be. You know, we're way further along than any other, you know, indie underground radio station.
Yeah.
The cool thing was when you first came to me with this idea of SkullFace Records Radio, I had no idea that we would build into what we've built into.
Yeah, it's busy.
Like
it's solid shit.
It's solid, and not only that, but a radio station centered around a record label, that's genius.
That's centered around good people that all are like each other and become friends and family.
Exactly.
It's something more than what a money-making scam is that's in your local, you know, where Kroger used to be, and now they rent the spot and they put an FM station in there, and these guys are trying to buck money, and nobody's friends but the two on top. We're trying to build a family.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we are building a family, man. Our family's getting stronger and stronger. Our SkullFace family is 100% SkullFace, and I love it.
Yeah, man, we got some solid dudes.
And the cool thing is that all the music we play, we don't need permission to play it because we've already got permission.
Yeah, because they're our friends and our family.
Right.
They're either under our label or they're our friends and family that we want to promote and we want to get their sound out.
Absolutely.
That's all we want to do is get people heard that wouldn't be heard if it wasn't for us.
Right.
We like to add. The better we can do for you, the happier we are. It's weird. I know a lot of people are like, maybe. No, that's really how we are.
Yeah, that's exactly how we are.
Yeah, being honest and truthful, man, and not having a hidden agenda and all that shit, man.
Right.
That causes too much fucking trouble, man.
It sure
I
does.
love music.
Yep.
I love musicians that are honest and that are good. Mm-hmm. If you suck, you can visit.
Yeah.
But you cannot stay very long.
Right.
If you got drug problems,
yeah,
shit, you can visit, come jam, but you can't stay long.
Right.
If you got yourself together and you want to be a musician and you want to learn how to do radio and you want to do something you love, then you can stay around as long as you want to.
Yeah.
If you bring formats, you bring production, you bring a good idea, you bring something fresh and awesome, you bring your listening and learning ears on, then you can stay as long as you want to. You know? We want to build.
Yes.
We are looking for editors. We're looking for video makers. We're looking for female voices and personalities for radio shows.
Yes.
So if you're any of these, PM me, PM Slim. Hit us up on our page.
On the Facebooks.
Whatever you want to do. We have
on the social media, man.
Yeah, we'll tell them on the social media. We have several interviews throughout the week.
Yeah.
A couple I think are real good potentials to come in.
Yeah.
It all depends on all the things I just talked about.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to the countdown. We're at number 8.
Let's do it. Number 8.
This week in Skullface Top 10. Number 8. Next to Nothing. Taken
Away.
SkullFace Records Radio.
Number 8.
I guess they want to take me away. believe anyone anywhere knows the right thing to do, and that goes for me, and that goes for you. In the list I asked, the fact is I don't care what you believe, so leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone. As if you proceed to throw dirt in my dreams, well, bitch, it seems you have lost your mind if you think you're in charge of me or my dreams. Your life will be taken away. I guess they want to take me away, and no one would know else, at least not the same. A lie put up list and the words that they say, they twist my memories to fit their games. I'm broken, feel free to feed me to the wolves. I won't cry or scream, I'll live miserable. Make my own scene in my mind, inside myself, the best friends I find. With the blink of an eye, I was wide awake, and I caught my breath, 'cause everything else was taken away. Don't believe anyone anywhere knows the right thing to do, and that goes for me, and that goes for you. And unless I ask, the fact is I don't care what you believe. You can leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone as well. If you see throw dirt in my dreams, well, bitch, it seems you have lost your mind if you think you're in charge of me or my fucking dreams. Your life will be taken away. Taken away. Take it away. Take it away. Yeah, take it away. It's been a fun day. It's been a long day. I love it when we have Joe Lucas in the studio.
Yes, Joe is awesome,
His
man.
energy's incredible. His knowledge is even better. And the way that him and Jimmy have known each other for so long, and the way they mesh, it's awesome.
And
It's fun.
It's cool because you're learning about their relationship, but you're also learning that you and Juicy Jimmy have crossed paths.
Hey, yeah, I forgot about that, man, but then I remembered it. You know, and the thing is, it's weird. Like I said, sometimes when you have the same habits,
Yeah.
you meet in weird places, and then when you look back, you're like, holy fucking shit. That's funny. That was me
Right.
and you.
Yeah.
This next band, awesome.
Are they?
We play them all the fucking time. We've had them in on This Week in SkullFace. We've interviewed them. We've drank beer with them. We've had them at Howlin' at the Moon. They've released a split album with us. We just made a hoodie with the split album with the Negative 77 and the Shocker Glow in the Dark.
Oh, cool.
Even when you're in the dark, you can still see what the fuck is going on, baby.
Right? Yeah, I saw that. You brought that into my room the other
It's bad
night.
fucking ass, dude. I reached out to Danny and asked if I could make a lyric video. He says to me, I got my own. I'll send it your way. I said, thank you. Yeah, baby. Sends it. It's fucking awesome.
Right.
It's reels of a bunch of badass horror movies.
Yep.
And you're like, you got to be kidding me. It's fucking kick ass. This is number 7 on the countdown. You're going to be listening to Shocker. It's Into the Night. You're listening to SkullFace Records Radio.
Number 7.
Yeah, we're back.
What I think we should do, where we have all of these bad, and I'm talking badass. We got people hollering in. Kenner was in here, dude. Sorry, dude, I didn't see you. Slim, he said, I knocked that mix out of the park, baby. Talking about the Dan Bowen. And then we got, yeah, that looked amazing, brother. Very humbling experience. Dan Bowen. Boom, boom. What's up, baby? Then we got Loving Hashing It Out for SkullFace Records
Oh,
followers.
yeah.
Digging the fucking music. Thank you, Andrew West. Andrew West, I love your interpretations, your entrepreneurial spirit.
Entrepreneurial.
No, I can't read right. My entrepreneurial. That sounds like
Entrepreneurial.
No, one time I used this weird shampoo and I got it in the tip, and I think it burned. And when I went there, I thought something else was wrong, but they told me it was my entrepreneurial. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate that, Andrew West, dude. I appreciate you tuning in, man. I appreciate you guys checking us out, man, and checking out the Hashing It Out guys are awesome.
Oh, dude.
Let's take a time out and talk about Hashing It Out.
I love those guys. They're a guilty pleasure, dude.
Yeah, but first off, I'm just going to get to the point. Jerry, give me back my fucking hat. That's the new joke around here at SkullFace Records. It's pretty cool. Dude, Caleb is hilarious.
Oh my god.
They came up here and they chilled, man. They surprised me. I was going over top of the train tracks. I went over and fucking the last person I thought would be coming over the tracks is Jerry going, nah! And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And the thing is, I was on my way to go pick up some food because I'm a fat ass. So I'm coming back around and they're at the studio.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Yep.
I was like, this is awesome. So we went to Leono's, and me, him, and Caleb, Jerry, and Caleb sat in the dining room area there at Leono's, waiting on our food, and just had a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just three
I can't
dudes
even imagine.
talking, man.
I can't even imagine.
You're probably a bigger this ain't a fat joke. You're a bigger fan than I am of Hashing It Out.
Yes.
Because you listen to it as soon as it comes out.
I do. The minute they drop an episode, I'll listen.
You're telling me the best parts of it. I'm hearing like the reel of it, from over there when I'm usually laying down, man.
Yeah.
What's your take on Hashing It Out?
I love Hashing It Out, man. It's such a cool podcast. Jerry and Caleb have such an awesome chemistry. And to think that it started because they fucking hated each other.
Yeah.
Like they used to not like each other at all.
No shit. But probably because Jerry took your fucking hat.
Give him back his fucking hat, Jerry.
We're going to start giving back your hat fund.
We might have to do a cover to Leonard Skinner's Give Me Back My Bullets and say, give me back my hat.
Can you buy a 1993 Paris All-Star Little League hat, though?
Oh.
It was a Little League All-Star hat.
Was that the year that you threw 77 strikeouts?
Nah, dude, this was when I was probably 11.
Oh, man.
This was probably this was probably my first year of an A-ball league, probably.
I bet Joe's got one.
Not old enough to do it yet.
I bet old Joe's got one. He's probably got one laying around his house somewhere.
Dude, when I walked in, I went down to Paris and swooped him up, man. We have a good time talking on the ride. It's a fun ride. We just talk nostalgia. I went in and he had on there that his sister had gave him a news clipping and a big cutout that goes in your yard of Joe Lucas running for city commissioner.
Isn't that cool, man?
Dude, he was clean shaved. He had a suit on. Dude, he was dressed to the dime. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. This is gold.
The cool thing about that whole thing is that we had no idea that Joe had ever tried to run for any kind of office.
I knew he was political. He's always had an opinion, dude. I've heard him on the radio calling in and giving people hell and giving people their opinion, but no.
Yeah.
No clue. I'd never seen that before, dude.
And so we just came up with Joe for president, and then come to find out somebody brings him an old campaign sign from a campaign he ran.
It's all over him, man.
It's crazy.
You can just smell the politician on him.
But, wow. And so anyway, back to Hashing It Out.
Yeah.
I actually had them on my show, the Glitter Squirrels.
Glitter Squirrels.
There's an episode. If you check out anchor.fm/Glitter Squirrels, it'll say the Glitter Squirrels are hashing it out. And
cool.
what it was we had Jerry and Caleb on a Zoom meeting with us. I was in Ashland with John at the time, and we had Jerry and Caleb on with us, and we all just sat there and talked. And the interview, it ended up, me and John were going to be interviewing Jerry and Caleb, but it turned out Jerry and Caleb ended up interviewing us.
They flipped that shit on you right there.
Right?
Flipped the script.
It's like the whole episode is like almost an hour. But it was like if you've ever popped a bass string on a bass and watched what it does, it unwinds like a spiral out of control.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
that's exactly what happened with this episode.
Oh, it all went to shit.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
So they took over. So you're saying they took over and then it went to shit? That sounds like
no.
fight words.
No. That's
Jerry?
not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it was total. It was total glitter squirrels, man, because we were all over the fucking place by the time it was all over.
The Glitter Squirrels is fun, man. I've only got to talk to you guys one time on the radio.
Yep. And that was a whole lot of fun. We'll have to get old John Boy up here from Ashland.
Man, did you see his video today where he was playing drums?
Oh yeah.
Can we get shout out to John real quick?
Yeah.
Why ain't John on here saying what's up to us? What's up, John? He'll watch it later.
Yeah.
He's a night owl. He's having fun. He was playing drums all day.
Right.
I'm jealous.
He's probably he's probably cooking at Texas Roadhouse today. That might be. Usually he doesn't check in too often.
Oh yeah,
but if you see him around, he'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know.
I was seeing him do some badass stuff, man. But shout out to my boys at Hashing It Out.
Yes,
and check it out, man. So earlier today we had, like I've said it, you know, like I'm still got that buzz off of having Joe for president in here.
Yes,
it's just being around the president. There's that weird energy. You know what I'm saying? But Joe had beef.
Yeah.
Joe has beef sometimes. Joe is not scared to tell people how he is. He was listening to a radio show. He heard Kurt Wonderly. Shout out to Kurt Wonderly. He was in here. You know he's Buff Bagwell.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know how he's built. He's built like a brick shit house.
Right.
He looks like he could just blow somebody away. He's a strong guy, strong voice, strong music. Joe said where Kurt was talking about his grandpa taking him to wrestling matches and being in radio, Joe lost it. Joe said, get him on the phone. Get him in front of me. So I wasn't going to bring Kurt to the studio because I knew the danger level.
Right.
Joe for president sometimes is untamed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's only me in between him and the door, dude. And I'm slow moving sometimes, especially on Sunday mornings.
Right.
He calls up. He calls up while Joe's here. So Joe gets to give him a piece of his mind.
Right.
He tunes in. Joe challenges Kurt's granddad to a no-holds-barred, no disqualification
weapons match.
Bring your own walker.
Walker and a cane.
Bring your own walker and cane. It was a big tease, you know what I mean? Like, he was a huge super fan. What had happened is last Sunday when we taped the first episode of Joe for President, Joe came in here, man, and when Joe came in here, he started listening to some of the things that were on the radio. He called me the very next night and says, I have an idea. Are you cool with Kurt Wonderly? I said, yeah, why? What a weird, like where's this coming from Joe Lucas at 11 o'clock at night? He's like, I love his music. He was, and that's a big deal. Joe's listened to a lot of tunes, and for him to, reach out, he wanted to show his appreciation.
Absolutely.
And that's how Joe does it. He'll pick on you.
Yeah.
He wants to pick on you, and he wants to play with you.
Giggity, giggity, giggity. All right.
He wants to have fun with you.
Yeah.
And that's how he shows that he gives a shit about stuff, which is badass, dude.
Right.
And that's just a big old segue, man, to this next song. This song actually dropped from last week. Okay. It's all been kind of like that so far in this last of the countdown. So the last of the countdown was kind of the top of last week's.
Right.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
But this is Nexus Lives. They were 2 last week, right behind INONOMIX Worm. But this week, they're 4 spots ahead of INONOMIX. They're coming in at number 6. This is Nexus Lives. Stop, drop, and reload. SkullFace Records Radio.
Number 6.
Number 10, Anonymix Worm. Number 9 this week, Nick, Well Then, Fuck It. Number 8 was coming in with Next to Nothing, Taken Away. Number 7 with their badass video. Shout out to DANNICURR and Fast Eddie. Shocker. Into the Night. Number 6, Nexus Lives. Stop, Drop, and Reload. And this is number 5, SWAMPEDNASHY. Last week, they're up from 10. They were 10, so this is the first one that moved on up.
Wow.
We're moving on now.
Moving on up.
To ones.
Across the tracks in Cynthiana.
Boom, baby. They went from 10 last week. They're 5 this week. The band's called SWAMPEDNASHY. The song's called Now I Don't. You're listening to SkullFace Records Radio Top 10.
Number 5.
Showing all your lack of development. You see concrete, you see men filled to be broken sentiment. A token regret, letting all the wrong ones lead you around by the nose. And absolutely not a fucking thing to maintain the same lame state of mind. Let me kill your day. Back up your lack of sack, the wrath of laughter. Let's back up your friends, your love, the man I came to find. When I don't.
Doing these countdowns. You're listening to This Week in SkullFace Records, the Sunday night Top 10 edition. This is the 7th week in a row we've did it. There's weird stuff. I like analytics. I like stats. I like keeping up with shit like that and seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
For the first time this week, we have something that's never happened before.
Okay.
The exact same performer. The same. Do you understand what that means?
The same person or people
the same.
the same.
Is 4, 3, and 2.
I already know where you're going with this. I know exactly what you're going to.
This guy is 4, 3, and 2. David, are you listening? I seen you was on here earlier. Motherfucker. You come down here taking over shit. Bringing the funkiest of the bass lines. Last night, keeping the metronome.
Right?
He was trying to help out. He was in there helping. Dude, he has been such a blessing for this studio.
Yes, he has.
Like, he meshes well.
Yes.
He's got good intentions.
Yeah.
His music's fucking awesome.
And he usually brings Little Caesars, which is awesome.
Every time. Ever since that place is open.
Right?
I was like, phew. And it's good. The new Little Caesars, dude. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
Dude, but for the first time ever, same performer. 3 spots.
That's crazy, dude.
Dude, he has the 4, the 3, and the 2.
I think it's safe to say we can put him in the same class as Ronnie. He's an alien.
He's came in and took over. It's exciting, dude. So 4, Bring Us Down.
Yeah.
3, So on Fire.
Oh, wow.
And 2 makes its debut.
Ah!
It has his child in it. It has his kids. It has his wife. It has his whole family. It's a song that means a lot to him. The video is top of the line. It's badass.
Yes.
It's righteous crowd.
Yep.
You're going to be listening to the Right Anxieties for 10 minutes when you're on the radio, when you're on the YouTube video. We'll be right back with SkullFace Records Radio.
Number 4.
Now I Number 3.
Don't you know these birds of a feather? They're gonna isolate your kind. They will strip you of your wishes. They're gonna make your drive go blind. No, they can't see your shine through their mind's eyes. You've got to meet my kind to understand my ways. You've got to set aside your prying eyes today. Oh, today. You know there came a time they went and set the red letters aside. They stopped saving grace. They learned to read between the lines. No, they can't see your shine through their mind's eyes. You've got to meet my kind to understand our ways. You've got to set aside your prying eyes today. Now today. Now you've set my soul on fire for the last time today. 'Cause you're a million miles from stopping lights run away. And you can't break these chains. You've got to meet my kind to understand my ways. You've got to set aside your prying eyes today. Now today.
Number 2.
Was about the mood that you walk with today. You chose the right time in life to play this game. Now can you roll the dice? Predict my future today. You got my soul on the books and my heart locked away. You said you'd give it your all, but you took the easy way out. You're letting your sin show among this righteous crowd. Among this righteous crowd. righteousness. And you said you'd give it your all. You took the easy way out. You're letting your sins show among this righteous crowd. Among this righteous crowd. Said you'd wait for me. There'd be no need to hold my breath. You'll be the death of me. I hate to see the hell they found among this righteous crowd. I knew you played this game with a little intent. You came to buy a soul that's already hell-bent. You got the power to heal your broken heart today. All the pride to walk in this mess that you made. You said you'd give it your all, but you took the easy way out. You're letting your sin show among this righteous crowd. Among this righteous crowd.
David Wright. Boom, 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 ba-dam, bam, ba-doom, ba-dam, ba-dam, boom, ba-dum, ba-dam, ba-dum, ba-dam.
You sound like Roger Miller.
Well, we got David live in here. He's saying, "What's up, man? We're giving you your props, dude. You took over the countdown almost tonight, but there was one more band that's in it. But the weird fucking thing is that you play bass and sing in it, so you're in the top 4 spots on the fucking countdown.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding me.
Friggin' alien.
Alien. What a fucking countdown tonight, man. What a day in radio. What
No
a
doubt.
weekend in SkullFace Records. What a month for the radio station and everybody involved. Sometimes we have to say goodbye to some people that just don't fit the mode that I want around here.
Yeah.
It's not bittersweet. It's a blessing to get rid of some of them motherfuckers,
Mm-hmm.
because when you do, you find better dudes to come in here and do the job that they wasn't fit to fucking do.
Right.
And it's really fucking cool. And this song actually proves it. You can have all the fucking shit in the world that you want to for 10 to 15 years and be so particular with your shit that you ain't got nothing to show, or you can get together in one night and put together a goddamn gem. This is the Psychotic Marvel. The song's called Blame. You can turn this one up. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. This is SkullFace Records Radio, dude. This has been fun as fuck, dude. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate everybody that likes, shares, gives a shit, gets on here and says what's up, wants to participate. If you have any questions, inquiries about us, about any of the musicians or the people on the radio shows around here,
Or if you want to date Slim, 859-588-6456.
boom. Out. See you guys later, dude. SkullFace Records Radio.
Number 1. The Psychotic
You have to heal your selfish pride so we can get these broken to the other side. We can't seem to
Radio podcast, broadcasting live from the afterlife.
Welcome to Gravedigger Radio Podcast. Today we're hanging out in the studio again with Patty Starr, paranormal investigator. We've got some more cool EVPs for you guys and some personal ghost stories as well. So, Patty, what's the first one for this episode you've got? I know we had the girl under the stairs for the last one.
On this one, I want to talk to you about a little bit of humor. It seems like every ghost hunt that I ever do, I always find a way to have laughter and fun. And I know that sounds kind of weird. Considering you're on a ghost hunt, you think about horror and scary and that type of thing. But I always feel better with trying to find humor. So one evening, right around midnight, I had a couple of friends and we were doing an investigation at the old TB hospital in Paris, Kentucky. And we were up on the third floor and putting together some things. And I happened to glance outside and I saw two young men coming out of the woods walking up to the building. And I turned around and I looked at the other people. I said, oh no, we're going to have two people I'd gotten permission to be there. So here we've got these guys trespassing and they're going, we're trying to set up and do EVP work. And so one of the girls that I was with, she said, well, look out and see where they are. So I stuck my head out the window. And as my head was stuck out and I was looking down and around, just about that time, their flashlight, they had the beam coming up the side of the building and it hit my face. And when they saw my face, I jerked back. And then I heard one of them said, oh my God, I just saw a face. I'm just glad he didn't say an ugly face, And so we started laughing. We were like, oh my gosh, they think they've seen a ghost because they didn't know we were there. So our cars were parked around on the other side. And so she said, well, let's scare them away. And I said, well, what do you want to do? She said, let me do it. So she goes over to the window and she caps her hand over her mouth and she goes, just like that. And it scared them so bad. They started running and we looked out and all we could see is like this light just bobbing up and down on the trees where they were running. And we were laughing so hard. And then while we were laughing, unbeknownst to us, it was like one of the doctors had come back in spirit and you hear him say, quiet.
So you got chewed out by a ghost. Yeah. Because you're making too much noise.
Too much noise in a hospital. Yes.
But that's so cool, though. I mean,
yes.
we'll go ahead and play that for you guys now. The fact that it can interact with you and that it's right there and that intelligent kind of haunting.
Yes.
Is super cool.
It is because they just didn't want to do that. And then there were times too when we got other voices from doctors. One time we got an EVP that said he didn't make it. And I thought that was, saying that somebody had passed, from the TB. So it was always good to get EVPs that we felt like either came from a nurse or a doctor or somebody there that was, going around and kind of protecting the hospital, even in spirit.
You were telling me too about one that you had where it was like somebody breathing right in your face and
yes.
You guys got a good picture of it. Can you tell us some more of that story?
Yes. I was asked by the Transylvania University to go and do this film that they made, and they actually entered the film in one of those contests in New York. What do they call them? A film festival,
right?
And they placed. I was pretty amazed by that, but I think it was because of the material and things that they were trying to cover, and they just wanted to prove that this TB hospital did have all of these ghosts. So at one point, one of the photographers from the college was taking pictures and took a picture of me as I'm asking questions out to the spirits, like, do you have a message for us? Can you come and speak to us? Is there something we need to know? That kind of thing. And he took a picture of me and there's a ghost standing right in front of me. Now, I didn't see it, but we know that it is not a reflection from the camera because as he took it, there was some broken glass of a window. And as he took it, the ghost was on the inside of the window and not as a reflection on the outside of the window. But what had happened is I kept asking if the ghost could give us a message, and I never could quite get a voice. So I said, can you let us know something or make a sound that would be indigenous to why you're here? Mm-hmm. And so I give 30 seconds and it's all quiet. Nobody's moving. And then we turn the recorder off and then we turn it back on just to see what came through. And so what had happened at that point, we heard 3 heavy steps walking towards me. And then it was this gurgling kind of breathing, kind of like that. And it was so frightening that some of the students that were recording this film, they wanted to shut down because they thought it was the voice from hell. Yeah. But as I explained to them, I said, you have to realize that he gave us some very valuable information. And that information was that he was a patient there and currently struggling, with his breath, with his breathing, with this disease. So that was really very precious that he shared that with us. So that's what we got.
So we'll go ahead and have that for you now. That's the next one coming up there. And if you listen closely, you can hear the breathing.
It's pretty distinct.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious there.
Can you talk to me on the meter? Look, you can make it go off, see? Is it great?
All right, that was super scary. I can't say that I blame those people for wanting to get out of there. I think if I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I also feel bad for them because I've been to Waverly Hills up in Louisville, and it was another large tuberculosis hospital, and these people were in there trying to get treatment for this disease that didn't have a lot of treatments at the time. And, it's a little bit sad to think that, they struggled so much probably at the end of their life.
Yes, it is. It really is. But I like it when I always ask, can you give us some information? Mm-hmm. Or will you help us? We're not trying to exploit you, or we'll definitely not hurt you. We are just taking the information that you would so graciously give to us. We just want to try to prove that you really exist.
Yeah.
And that's super awesome, kind of being, to a degree, a messenger or a mouthpiece for things that may not be able to interact in other ways. You said you've got a really good one of somebody saying, like, look behind you. What was going on with that?
Oh, this was another one of my favorites. It's we laughed about it. But when you hear this EVP, you'll definitely hear, look behind me. And so what happened was I was teaching one of my courses. I taught 2 courses in ghost hunting. One was just ghost hunting kind of like 101, and the other one was certification in ghost hunting. And this was during my certification class, and I was taking the students. I think I had about 10 students this day, and I was taking them through, I used to have an art gallery. And so we were walking through the art gallery. We were recording everything. I always tell my students to always record the full investigation. And so we were coming around the bend, and I said, I want to take y'all into one of my favorite places. It's called the Employee Lounge. And I thought I made it funny, so I'm laughing. So listen to my laughter, because right behind my laughter, you're going to hear a guy say, look behind me. And then you'll hear me say, oh, did y'all hear that? Because sometimes I do hear the EVPs. And then everybody's like, what? And I said, oh, I just heard somebody say, look behind me. And they're like, oh, really? So that was kind of cool that got captured too.
Yeah.
So it proved that even before I listened to the tape to prove that somebody said, look behind me. So it was pretty cool.
All right, guys, check this one out.
Let's go in here. This is our favorite place. This is our employee lounge. Hey, did you whisper? Did you just whisper? I heard something. I heard something said, look behind me. It was right here. I swear it said, look behind me.
Wow, that one is super distinct. Like what you were saying. The big question for me is, what's the difference between EVP and something that you actually hear and record?
You mean like
because that one was both, right?
Yeah, it was both.
Yeah, well, and also we get, excuse me. Also we get sounds. Like we get sounds from the TB hospital. Sometimes it will be like a gurney, and it's rolling down the hall, and it's got, and then, you can hear the metal and everything, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then one time I did get that recording, and then it rolled and it quit, and then you heard something like this. Like they were picking up a patient, and then you hear it start to roll again, and then it stops and you hear. So you can't really understand what they're saying, but it's like a segment of life that you just captured. And oh my gosh, these things are just so awesome.
You think that's more of the residual style haunting then?
That's more of the residual
stuff that happened every day there.
Every day. Yeah. And so they, it's kind of got a little bit of a rut there. Yeah.
In all of your ghost hunts and paranormal adventures at this point, I mean, you're basically Indiana Jones of the paranormal at this point.
Oh, well, I've been doing it for many years, over 40 years. So,
wow.
And I'm 72 and I'm still doing it. Okay.
That's awesome. Has there ever been a situation where you're like, we got to get out of here right now? Like, we got to go.
In all of my life, I have to be very honest with you. I can't say no that I've never had one, but I do have one that I do remember, and it actually took place at the Old Talbot Tavern. Now, up until that time, all of my experiences were very, very positive. But we had been going in every single night. This was after the fire, after it had closed, because we were able to see more, do more, feel more after the fire. And so I was going to set up and just stay there until about 2:00 in the morning. And I had a friend with me. And I can't really explain it. I kind of think I understand it now. See, the tavern at one time had more than one, what I refer to as a portal. It's like an opening. And when you have those openings, then a lot of things can come through. You can think I'm crazy right now, but I even think that at that point, aliens can come through. I mean, it's just an opening in that dimension, in that universe, There's
a lot of theory about aliens being extra dimensional beings and that we just kind of see them when the veil's thin.
Right. There you go. And so, one time I actually filmed, and it was so asymmetrical. It looked like a spaceship, really. I mean, it was small, but you could see it, and it flew around the room. And so, because of later I do realize what it was, but it was just very kind of nasty, So I started getting nauseated really bad, and then I started getting. I felt like I was having like when you haven't eaten or you need sugar and you're like, and so I told the person I was with, he was making notes, and I stood up and I said, we need to leave. And we started packing really fast, and we left. And he looked, and when we got outside, he looked at me and he goes, I wanted to say that 10 minutes ago, but he says, I just didn't know if it was me or what. And I said, no, we had to leave. And that's the first time and last time really that I ever had anything really negative. But then the next time we went back, it was totally clear. Totally clear.
So you said you realized what it was. So what was it?
I think it was just coming from the vortexes. I call it a vortex, a portal. I think it opened on us because it did that. After that, it did it a couple of more times. And that's when, the one time it opened up and I felt like we actually, captured it looked like a little spaceship, really. I'm not kidding. And, so I think it, just all boils down to there's more than one opening, portal, vortex, whatever you want to kind of call it. But most of the time, it's all really been good.
That's wow. I mean, that's super creepy.
Yes, it is.
But it's so cool. And I love the extra dimensionality theories and everything.
Yes.
I've actually got a lot of personal ghost stories that I want to kind of get your take on them and see what you think about them and just kind of run them by you.
All right.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always had all kinds of weird ghost stories and paranormal experiences. I can remember back to like 10 years old. And the house that we lived in, what's really weird about it is that we were the first people to live there. Like my dad, he cleared the land and put the house there. So there wasn't a family there. The room that I was in, the doors would open and close. The TV channels would change back and forth randomly. It would turn on and off. But the weirdest one was that above my bed, I had all these Lego sets. And it was up on a high shelf that I couldn't have reached even in my sleep. And I woke up one morning, I had a Star Wars Lego X-Wing fighter, and it is down off the shelf, laying on the other side of the bed, and all the little figures are out of it like they've been played with and moved around.
Oh, gosh.
And I never woke up. Nothing weird ever happened through the night, but I, plain as day, remember waking up and it being on the other side of me from the shelf.
Now, when I hear something like that, I kind of close because I wanted to see if I could just connect to that. And I know you said that your dad cleared the land and built the house, so there was no other domicile there. It was just yours. But you do have to realize that sometimes even way before your dad cleared that land, there was a possibility that there could have been maybe a pioneer existence. And just think about a child that could see those bright colors and those little figures. They would be so interested in that and so wanting to play with it and touch it and sit it down and look at it and try to figure out what it was. If I were to interpret it, that's kind of where I would place that.
Yeah, nothing malicious ever happened. There was never any. I would get some weird feelings at night, like something was watching me. But nothing malicious ever happened.
Yeah.
But that toy being played with and seeing it moved in the night.
Yes.
Was incredibly creepy.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I think about that because a lot of times that'll happen. This one lady called me and said, for some reason, I feel like my house is haunted and it's a brand new house. I just moved in. It's not even 3 months old. And I told her, I said, well, maybe it's not so much your house being new, but it could be something that was there before your house. And therefore, so they're just in that space. And that's why sometimes when you see movies and it looks like somebody walked into the wall, well, actually what's happening is that they at one time lived in a structure that was there and there happened to be a door there at the time. So for them, they're walking through a door, even though for us, it looks like they're walking through the walls.
So we're basically seeing kind of the overlay of like if you were to overlay an image, but like overlaying a video and it's continuous track.
Yes, I like that. I like that explanation. I
Even
do.
if you've got different stories from an old building, you'll see like half a person go across the floor because they're walking on their old floor. Which isn't your new floor.
That's right. It's a very good explanation.
I never thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yes,
also,
those are good.
Can things come with you? Like maybe nobody's been in that place before, in that house or on that land, but like something can attach to you and come along.
You keep saying that you don't have any psychic powers. You keep reading what I'm going to say next.
Oh, no, I'm psychic. I've never had a paranormal experience.
Good. Because what I was going to say at that same lady's house, when I came there and she was like, I've been here 3 months. Well, come to find out, she'd had a boyfriend that she did not, they broke up. And right at the end of their breakup, he had been dabbling in some illegal things. And those illegal things caught up with him and he was shot. And died. And it just so happened that it was him trying to reach out for her.
Oh, wow.
So it didn't have anything to do with, the property or the house being new or old. It came all back to her.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was interesting that you brought that up.
For my next one, it's so I also work as a paramedic in addition to this. The station that we were at, there was actually 2 stations in Madison County that are incredibly haunted. One of them is actually on a Civil War battlefield. The way it was set up, you had 2 rooms that would face the outside that had windows in them and then 2 interior rooms. Well, people reported that if you slept in the rooms with the windows, you'd hear scratching on the glass all night long. So I was like, well, screw that. That doesn't sound fun at all. I'm going to sleep on the interior. I'm laying there one night and the room just gets oppressively dark. Like just a weird heaviness. I can't see the light under the door anymore. And it's weird. Me being me in my mind, I immediately revert to being 5 years old again. And if I can't see it, it can't see me. So I just pull the covers up and roll over and go to bed. The night passes pretty uneventfully. I wake up the next morning and I'm over at the girl that I'm dating at the time, her house. And I changed my shirt and she's like, what happened to your back? I said, well, what do you mean?
No.
She's like, well, you've got like these 3 like claw marks underneath your shoulder blade.
Oh my God.
And nothing ever woke me up. Nothing ever happened. But the weird part about that station is we had motion sensors on the inside of the doors that would unlock it. And you would hear those motion sensors clicking all day long of things locking and unlocking.
Oh, wow. It's really unusual though that you didn't feel it because a lot of people that end up getting these scratches, it'll start out like, my back is stinging a little bit, it's kind of like that, or my arm, and then when they look, they see the scratches and they're real fresh.
Yeah.
And, but it's funny that you got those, but then again, you didn't feel it. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Are you a really heavy sleeper?
I am. Okay. I'm an incredibly heavy sleeper.
Okay.
So it
maybe in the moment you just didn't feel it.
may not have phased me.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and then the other station that we had, the old EMS station, they've now changed to a new one, but it was kind of the most hated man in Berea. He was this old racist that would basically train his dogs to attack little black kids that would cross through his yards. Like this guy was the devil.
Yeah.
And apparently when he died, the city of Berea threw a party, kind of,
oh my gosh,
as they should.
Yeah.
But he haunted the EMS station there one night. So the way the rooms were set up, it was each crew had one dorm and there was 2 beds in there. So I kind of, for whatever reason, wake up in the middle of the night. There's a bathroom kind of at the end of the dorm, and I see the lights on in there. The water's running. I look over. My partner's in her bed, sound asleep. And I was like, the hell's going on? All of a sudden, this figure that looks like, the only way to describe it is blue TV static, is the only way I could even think of. It's just a fuzzy humanoid comes walking out of the bathroom, hits the wall, and it's gone.
And it was blue?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've seen that. I got a picture of one of those.
Oh, wow. Well, I've got to see that.
Yes.
And then another one night, we're laying there, and it's like 3 a.m. The other crew's gone out on a call, and there's alarms that would sound if a door opened. So we knew that we were the only crew in the station. Well, we hear these big heavy footsteps running up the stairs towards the dorm. The dorm room door gets thrown wide open into like the little living room area we had. You hear these big heavy footsteps run around the living room and then run back down the stairs. The alarms never sounded.
Wow.
And we were the only one there. We actually went through and cleared the station. Didn't see a soul.
Your teammates experienced all this too.
We both woke up because we're like, well, somebody's broken in and something bad's about to happen.
Oh
We
my
thought
gosh.
we were.
That's an awesome story. And sometimes too, I feel like with your profession, it's EMT. Is that correct? Am I saying it correct?
Paramedic, but close enough.
Okay. Because you guys are, a lot of times you're actually faced with that moment of death. And sometimes I think that affects your energy, your frequency, vibration that draws them to you because they understand that you have that compassion when you go to a home and you're really trying to save this person's life. And then when that doesn't happen and they pass, then you feel that sorrow and you feel that pain too. And they're like, oh my gosh, we can really relate. So I kind of think that's why, because I've investigated 2 or 3 fire stations. And then my son was, I think he ended up being a lieutenant. And he was a fireman for 11 years. And boy, did he get caught up in a lot of situations. I always worried about him. And I'm sure there's been times when you've worried about yourself when you have to go into places that might not be so safe. So it would make sense to me that you might be exposed maybe in other, more so than in other occupations. And there was another, let's see, let me think. It was like another occupation. Policemen. Oh my goodness. I used to have policemen take my class and I had firemen to take my class, and they taught me a lot because at one time I said, I can't ever figure out that in some of the homes we go into, more so than most, we get a lot of kind of spirit energy in the bathroom. And this one fireman told me that, that's because a lot of times people will die in the bathroom. They die in the toilet. Or they have a heart attack and they think they have to go to the bathroom, or either they strain too much and there's a nerve that goes down the spine or whatever, and they just kill over dead. And I thought, well, that makes sense because I'll get my EMF meter and I'll go into the house and I get in the bathroom and I'm like, oh, I feel something. And then I find out later, so I learned that. And I was very grateful. And then there was a police officer that taught me some stuff. And he said that there was this case where this crazy woman kept calling the police department that there was a man in her house. Well, when they'd get there, she'd be hysterical and she would describe him and everything. And she'd get to the point where they didn't find anything. They found no evidence of a break-in. So they would take her to the mental hospital. And so, and this would go on like once or twice every 5 or 6 months, And so one night they get the call and they go, oh, it's her again. And so 2 of them go in the house, and this one guy, there's 2 cots and one walks off and he's writing down the information because they still have to make the report, And, he said, I saw my partner come back up behind, beside me. And, so I turned to him to ask him a question and he disappeared. And so the woman looked at him and said, see, you saw him, didn't you? You saw him, didn't you?
Who's
I'm not
crazy
crazy. Yeah. So I just keep learning so much from other professionals that come in and take my course, so I'm very grateful for that.
Well, and so the next one, the house that I'm staying in now, my grandparents, they're actually buried on the property. Both of them died in the house.
Okay.
And there was one night I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth, and the girl I was dating at the time, she was staying over, and I hear a woman's voice in the hallway just say, hey. And I thought it was maybe her, so I walk in there to check and see what's going on. And she's sound asleep in bed with the covers kind of like halfway down. And you can tell she's cold. She's kind of shivering a little bit. I watched the end of the comforter go up and over top of her shoulder and basically tuck her in.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
And then another one, there was this tremendous crash from downstairs in the basement. I mean, it sounded like a bookcase full of stuff falling over.
Wow.
And so we all kind of run down there real quick, checking to see, you know, what's happened. Nothing's out of place. Nothing's been moved. No activity at all.
Oh, wow.
So those kind of weird phantom sounds.
Those are, yeah. I've had that happen in my house so many times. You try to figure out what was that sound. You can't find it.
Well,
yeah.
And then kind of going back to, you seem to kind of pick up on when I mentioned seeing like a blue object.
Yes.
There was one night that I was sitting there at my desk working on some stuff, and I saw some movement kind of out of the corner of my eye.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned around and look at it, and I see what can only be described as like this kind of 4 foot in diameter iridescent blue blob.
Okay.
And it looks like it would almost be, if you could touch it, be like gelatinous.
Oh.
And I see it goes up the wall, and then it hits the ceiling, and it kind of does like a wavy pattern as it goes up into the ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
And it was definitely one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have that blue, I call him the blue man in the cemetery. And before I leave today, I'll show you that picture.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying some of our spooky tales and some EVP. Patty, thank you so much for being on the show. We've had a blast talking to you.
Gosh,
Come
I've
back
had such a
anytime.
good time. Thank y'all for inviting me. And I do